Right, so I've just been looking through the comments section on Antinatalist Outreach's latest video talking about Efilism, conversation with question mark. So I've left a couple of comments there. Anyone who wishes to go and read them or whatever can go and do so. But anyway, so I was just checking to see whether or not there had been any responses. And anyway, I've come across this comment left 21 hours ago by sorry, I don't know what those symbols are, what language that is, forgive my ignorance, but it's like something, looks like Nepiboa, Rebel Inc. Comment left 21 hours ago. So it says, let's face it, people like Gary and Amanda will ruin the antinatalist community. Why? Because Gary supports hate speech. Amanda prefers to ignore it and sweep it under the rug, at the same time claiming she has been building the community for 10 years. Gary repeatedly says hateful things towards minorities. His misogyny towards women is especially horrible. If he will commit a serious crime, governments will have a full right to proclaim antinatalism as extremist organisation like eco-fascism, putting tons of people under the bus and making others more resentful towards antinatalism. I feel disgusted introducing friends to antinatalism with the help of Amanda's videos. I mean, see right there, like, okay, so what's the alternative? Okay, you go and make some videos, right? I'm not invested in this what I perceive to be a rather trivial disagreement, right, in the grand scheme of things, between antinatalism and Efilism. And like, to me, these words, antinatalism, Efilism, rejectionism, like, to me they all represent like pretty much exactly the same thing. What is it? You're pretty much, all of you are like 90% all in agreement. And when you when you look at that relative to the general population, the general consensus, it becomes like 99%. So what's the problem, right? Why can't you just let each person, each group, each organisation, right, do their thing? Okay, stop picking holes in everyone else's approach, right, and do your own. Once it gets to the point where this is like this movement is being spoken about in a big way, right, and there are many more minds working on it, like, then we can address all this stuff. Like, I'm sure, I was thinking about this earlier, just after I left these comments, and it seems to me like this is the normal pattern of how things go, right? This is why history repeats itself, because ideas form, people have relatively trivial disagreements about those ideas, and then it becomes a load of infighting before anything even properly gets off the ground. And you become, like, there was quite a good point, I think, in Antinatalist Outreach's not really an interview, but yeah, discussion with question mark about this, where they were saying, I think it was in this anyway, where they're saying about the ease with which you can fall into sort of I think it was Lawrence Anton actually was talking about it, saying, and I think he was absolutely right, like the ease with which you can kind of fall into an echo chamber, or it might have been question mark saying it actually, apologies, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, like talking about the ease with which one can fall into like echo chambers and form a like habitual behaviour of using certain language which is completely normal to you but incomprehensible to people who aren't familiar with these ideas, and that's what happens, right? Like, you're all just getting into these discussions which I think seem like more important to you personally than they are in the big picture. Anyway, I didn't even intend on really addressing that. But yeah, that is a point. If you yourself want to criticize someone else, right? You're complaining here about this is how you have to. This is how, like, this is the best option for you to introduce people to antinatalism is through the videos of someone you don't approve of. Then make your own, right? Or shut up. Right, I'll carry on. I feel like I should apologise to them for putting them into trouble personally. Right, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. I've supported antinatalism because I thought main figures strive towards harm reduction and activism, supporting marginalised groups. See, the marginalised groups, by your standards, like, not all marginalised groups are actually marginalised, right? Different subject. To reduce suffering. But it attracts literal incels. Baseless attack. Like, what's the point in even addressing that? That's why I didn't, as you'll see. Thinking that what Gary says is something innocent. As far as I'm concerned, like, that's your personal opinion. You're welcome to hold it. I've got my views on that. But like I said, this infighting is pointless as far as I'm concerned. Let's see where this whole thing goes first. Let's see, right? And then we can do this, right? But it's like, what's the point in having like a movement which is, almost travelling parallel, right? There's a little bit of angle difference. One person is travelling in the direction at, like, I don't know, 280 degrees, and the other people are travelling at like 285 degrees. It's like, it's just stupid from my perspective. Anyway, I will be seeking AN organisations who don't support these two. Okay, go, do it, it's fine. Because to be honest, I would rather stay with natalists caring about their communities and members, fine, than chauvinist, you're trying to say, folk with medieval views on world and